Hey YouTubers, I'm back with another video in my home. I just wanted to, I've been starting you off on these videos like updating you, but this is going to be an update, but the entire video is going to be my experience. And you know, as usual, you can learn from some of this. So I've told you in a past video that I'm still in the same job, but I went from municipal court prosecuting to civil litigation, which is completely different. The cases are different. The experience is different. I have more experience. As you know, I'm a young attorney. April was my second year anniversary of becoming a lawyer. So it's really exciting information for me, but there have been some challenges. So civil litigation, I do moving vehicle accidents, slip and falls, personal injury cases. I do all of the collection cases where somebody owes us money, which is like 20 cases, but they're like mini cases. It's really quick for those. So the experience I want to tell you about is I've only been here for 5 months. Again, I've been at the job going on 2 years, but in this division doing these type of cases, 5 months. So because I started in January. So the municipal court prosecution was just bench trials. This is jury trials. So I actually in 4 months have an experience with a jury trial, and let me tell you, it was a great experience, but there are lots of things that I learned, and I want to give you a reminder. If you're in a private firm, you might have more guidance, but when you're in the public sector, there's not a lot of training all the time and walking you through steps. So I found out that I had this trial. I tried to get it continued. The judge was like, no, just get caught up on the case. Good luck with that. And I went through this trial with a really seasoned attorney that was really good, had all his crap together. Also, the facts of the case didn't really help us. This was a car accident case where a city vehicle rear-ended another vehicle. So in a rear end case, the person who does the rear ending is not always in the best position anyway, but the experience was great. And that's one thing you need to take out of anything that you do. Take the experience for whatever it is. So I'm going to run through this really quickly. At the beginning, you do voir dire, and you've heard of voir dire. I know people call it voir dire, but I think that's the American way. I think it is a French word, and I try to pronounce things as they are, so I say voir dire. Anyway, I did voir dire, and that's like everybody's nightmare. It wasn't too bad. It's just like when you're working with jurors, which I think I'm going to do a video over jurors, but really that's for the public, because they need to know, like, this is important. You need to take this a little more serious, and people are just like, well, that's a stupid question, and not really responsive because they don't want to be in there in the first place. But it's really affecting the outcome of your case a lot. So I did voir dire. That lasted a whole day, not mine, the other person. So I'm the defense in this case. So the plaintiff goes first, then the defense. The plaintiff took all day. And then the second day was my day. And then we got into opening statements. Remember, if you took trial ad where they said you want to have a theme, you want to repeat things multiple times, you do, but make sure you're not just doing it for the sake of whatever they say. Make sure it makes sense to your jurors. And you know what? What I learned is the best practice is saying as much as you can of what you're going to say, and practicing it without giving away the details to a lay person, to like your cousin, your friend, somebody who has no idea about legalese, because they're going to be able to stop you and say, hold on, you just said a legal word. Because the jurors can't do that. They just have to listen to you blab and have questions that may or may not get answered. So I went through voir dire. And then the first day was opening statements, the plaintiff's entire case, and then after the case, you have to move for a motion for a directed verdict. And that's to say, like, directly go to the verdict in favor of the defense and say, we are not guilty, and that's it, based on the plaintiff was not able to show, for example, negligence. Well, yeah, the plaintiff was able to show negligence, but the judge I'm still trying to figure that out. The judge still required me to move for a motion for directed verdict. I don't know why, but I did it. So make sure you have that written up and ready to hand in to be filed by the judge, or you'll have to later come back and do it. And then you go through your case, and you need to know, like, who you're going to call, how long they're going to take, because the judge kind of asks you stuff like, do you know how many witnesses do you have, about how long would that take, because they're trying to gauge where they should stop and start and where they should do any kind of breaks or lunch. So we went through my case, and then after my case in chief, I had to do another motion for a directed verdict. So have 2 written up to submit to the court so that you don't have to come back later and do it. After that, the closing arguments, plaintiff goes first, then you go. You need to know how long your closing arguments are going to be, because the judge is going to ask you how many minutes you want. The plaintiff, I think we chose 20 as more than enough. I don't know. It could be because I'm a new lawyer or because I'm young, but I was like, I don't want to hear me talk for 20 minutes. No one wants to hear me talk. Jurors already are mad that they have been there for 3 days, and it was a 3-day case. So 20 minutes is insane. However, the plaintiff gets 20 minutes, but they get to break that up. So they get to say, like, give me 12 minutes first, and then give me 8 minutes after. That is because the plaintiff gets to close, and then I close, and then the plaintiff gets to go after me and close, and that means they get to cover anything that I said after that. So after that, the jury deliberates, the judge reads them instructions, they come back. In my case, they came back in like 15-20 minutes. It was really quick, and then your fate is decided, and that is the end. So it was a really good experience. Obviously, we were found guilty for rear-ending someone else. But I think it was a great experience, and I think that trial ad helped, but it couldn't cover all the nuances. So if you have any questions about specific details, or you want me to go more in depth about what I did, please let me know. I'm happy to give you some of the feedback that I was given, or just kind of share with you some things that I felt I should have known that I didn't, et cetera, about opening or closing. In the meantime, I will come back to you with another video next week and try to get these out a little quicker. Thanks for watching.